And that's why we think the 2016 Subaru Outback, particularly in 3.6R specification, is the perfect car for Australian families. It has the price, it has the performance, and it has the practicality to meet most buyers' needs. And Subaru must be laughing because there aren't many... Mate,
hang on a second.
Shooting.
Hang on a second. I think Matt's forgotten the all-new Volkswagen Passat Alltrack, which I think has got the chops to knock that Subaru off the lofty perch that Matt has so lovingly handcrafted.
Mate, you are dreaming. Dreaming. Australia is a place of rugged terrain and beautiful landscapes, and the best bits are often out of the way. While buyers are flocking to SUVs, there are all-wheel drive alternatives, like these two high-riding wagons, that could prove to be perfect to get you to those far-flung destinations.
I really think this new Passat Alltrack has got what it takes to absolutely nail the Subaru in this comparison, and there's one good reason for that. It exudes a sense of class and style that the Subaru simply can't match, and that's just one of many reasons.
Well, Trent can say all he wants about that Alltrack, but it costs $800 more than the top spec Subaru Outback.
Matt can bang on about that all he likes, but there's a sense of European quality about the Alltrack that I reckon makes that $800 difference absolutely worthwhile.
But you can't even get a petrol version of it. It only comes with a 2-litre turbo diesel, and don't even get me started on Volkswagen diesels. In the Outback, you've got the option of a 2.5-litre petrol, a 3.6-litre petrol, or a 2-litre turbo diesel like he's got. So there's more choice for buyers, and that's got to count for something, right?
Now, having more engine options is great. Sure, you might want 5 different engines to choose from, but there's one fact that needs to be made here, and that is that the Passat's engine is gruntier than any of the Subaru drivetrain options.
Grunt is only good if you can use it. I've driven diesel DSG Volkswagens in the past, and the combination at times hasn't been great. Instead, this big petrol engine has lots of power, and it has one of the best CVT gearboxes known to mankind.
Now, I'll take the precision and driving refinement of a Volkswagen drivetrain any day of the week. And Matt, he's got a CVT in that Subaru. A CVT? Yeah, that's the driving enthusiast choice, isn't it? I think this vehicle doesn't feel like an SUV to drive at all. The steering, the handling, the balance, everything about it feels more car-like than SUV-like. And if you have a look at Matt's Subaru on the dirt road, it's sliding all over the place.
Trent's probably blabbering on about how the Alltrack doesn't feel like a big wobbly SUV, but I've got a massive ground clearance advantage over him. And on roads like we're on now, that makes a big difference. Subaru's all-wheel drive system has a big part to play as well.
Of course, with the Alltrack, I've got all-wheel drive as well. And while Matt's back there probably trying to preach the gospel about Subaru all-wheel drive, exactly the same kind of system underneath the Volkswagen that I'm driving. And he's probably also having a crack about ground clearance because we know the Volkswagen's got lower ground clearance than the Subaru, but on plenty of these bumpy dirt roads and in and out of washouts, I've never had any problems at all with the Volkswagen touching down. I have to be honest, I've driven Outbacks in the past and they're actually pretty good things. I haven't wanted to admit it to Matt yet, but they are.
You know what? I really want to drive that thing.
Whom shall I call for you?
Matt Campbell.
Calling Matt Campbell.
Trent's calling. G'day, mate.
Hi, mate. I know that you are in what you believe to be the best
all-wheel drive family wagon
there in the Outback, but I've got a proposition for you. Are you interested in us switching cars? Because I'd really like to have a steer of the Outback.
Yeah, mate, I'm curious about that thing too, so...
Let's do it.
I think you're going to like this Alltrack, mate, so let's just find a safe spot to pull over and we'll switch cars.
Okay, mate. Bye.
Okay, so here we go. I'm going to get myself comfortable here. Ooh. Well, there's one good thing. It's got an electric seat. Alltrack doesn't have that.
No electric seat adjustment. How do I... It's a $50,000 car.
Sunroof. Alltrack doesn't have that either. Now let me just plug my phone into the CarPlay. Oh, no CarPlay.
Okay, good start.
Seats are pretty comfortable though. Paddle shifters. He's right, this does have a lot of gear. Let's hit the road and see what it feels like, because I've really enjoyed driving that Alltrack. It feels very car-like. I think that's the main thing.
Diesel, let's go. Let's go. There we go. That's typical of the Volkswagen low-speed diesel DSG combo. Maybe not as bad as some, but it's going okay so far. Certainly feels better at speed than maybe at lower speed.
So straight off the bat, there's two things I've noticed about this Subaru and two reasons I may have been a little harsh. It's extremely quiet, and that Cvt is exceptional.
Instantly the seats feel a lot firmer in this Passat, but they are very supportive, and I think that's a good thing because it certainly feels a lot sharper as soon as you start to steer it into a corner. The Outback's maybe a little bit more roly-poly and doesn't have as good grip, where this, the grip's excellent.
This feels like a conventional automatic gearbox, if you can believe it. And right up to 80 or 100 kilometers an hour, it's extremely smooth, and there's none of that whining or flaring of the revs that you hear with conventional CVTs. So that's a big win for Subaru.
Instantly it feels more fun to drive, but I've got no paddle shifters, and it's a beautiful day out there, but I've got no sunroof. How much is this car again? It's 50 grand, right? A few little compromises maybe.
It's comfortable too. It's not only quiet, it's actually comfortable on the road. The ride is beautiful, it's compliant. It's soft without being wallowy, and you tip it into corners and it doesn't feel like it floats everywhere, but it really soaks up the bumps nicely, which if you're going to head out to these sorts of roads, it's pretty important.
There's maybe a little bit more road noise in here, but I'm pretty impressed with the ride compliance. It's comfortable, and it's got a better balance between driver engagement and comfort than the Outback seems to have. So yeah, maybe Trent's got some good points with this car.
I reckon people might prefer comfort over driving precision in this class, and certainly on these types of roads. And that Alltrack is definitely a more fun vehicle to drive. It's more precise, it's a sharper tool, but the Subaru is more comfortable, and I think that really rates a mention.
DSG is pretty quick to react, as you expect from dual clutch gearboxes, and engine's fairly smooth and linear.
The fuel usage figures might indicate that I was right and that the petrol engine in the Subaru is in fact a little thirstier, but it's a big lazy engine that just does everything so effortlessly, and it's quiet, it's refined, and it actually gets the Subaru up to highway speeds really, really easily and keeps it there easily, which just makes the whole driving experience seem really relaxed.
So mate, a bit of time in the Outback.
More ways than one, Outback and Outback.
And did it change your mind?
Not one iota. Actually, I lie. The Outback is a particularly good vehicle. I may have been a little harsh on it. In fact, I may have been overly harsh on it.
I think so,
Yep.
But I feel the same way after getting out of the Volkswagen. I mean, the Passat Alltrack, so well executed, a really well engineered car, feels really connected to the road, maybe more so than the Outback.
The Passat is a much better driver's car. The
Yeah.
steering is more engaging, the brakes feel a little better, it handles differently. It's a much, much more engaging driver's car. This, on the other hand, is supremely comfortable, beautiful bump absorption, and it's really, really quiet in the cabin.
Yeah, look, it's not getting any easier.
It really isn't getting any easier. I was a bit harsh on that CVT too, got to be honest.
I think so.
DSG's not bad in that either,
No,
but the CVT in that
no.
is particularly good.
Look, mate, I just don't know which one we're going to choose.
It's
So,
tough.
Which one would you choose if you had to buy one today?
See, this is the problem. I think that the Passat is a slightly better vehicle, but I'd buy the Subaru if I had to put my money down.
It's an interesting conclusion. I don't know which I'd choose. I really like the Passat, and I really like the Outback, so I'd probably have to go with the Outback. Should we switch this off? How do we do that? Bottom one? Top one? Middle one?
Just this one.